Yeah, g'day groovers, shakers and part-time money makers. Chewy here, bringing you a little update on Australian politics. Be back in a moment. Firstly, I'd like to say I'm not qualified to comment on this at all, so I'll be keeping my ideas brief. We just finished our federal election yesterday, and the result was the Liberal Party is in power again for another term. All I know about politics, it's going to be one or the other. And it's not just a case of the lesser of two evils, because both parties are evil. They're both controlled by corporate greed. They're both controlled by the mining industries, especially coal industry here in Australia. And that's pretty much what I want to talk about. You know from past videos, if you've watched any of them, that I'm developing an environmental conscience, which I think has innately been there since childhood anyway. We are just destroying this earth at such a rate. What I know about the latest in Australia is that we've got another 3 to 4 years of not giving a crap about the environment, about promoting all sorts of mining and taking and plundering from this earth of its natural resources in the aim of energy, fuel. There's some big power lines just to exemplify or highlight what I'm talking about. Look at them. We could vote for the Greens. Maybe our political priorities should be leaning towards protecting this earth for future generations. But the way I see it, the current political parties in power, not just here in Australia but globally, mostly follow trends which are set in the USA. It seems like people's attitudes towards climate change and environmental destruction has taken a U-turn in the last, I'm going to say 10 years. Excuse me. People have got this apathy, this idea that the environment will sort itself out. It's cyclic. They say, people of that argument would say things along the lines of, the earth will heal itself. It's been through periods of warmer and hotter and more desolate, environmental conditions in the past. That's all partly true, in my opinion. That the earth has been through turmoil and back many times in its 4.5 billion year existence since the solar system took shape in some form. One of those cataclysmic events is likely the demise of the large reptiles on this planet, the dinosaurs. There's still scientific discussion about what caused that. One thing that seems to be in agreement is that it was a period of massive change for the Earth, the dust cloud in the atmosphere for 4 years or something like that. But I look at some stark statistics, some things that quite confronting and really quite scary. At the end of World War II, so 1944, some 80 years ago, the Earth's population was 2.5 billion people. That's a lot of people. 80 years later, not even 80 years later, we now have a global population of approximately 7.5 billion people. 7.5 billion people inhabit this planet. Now that's okay. If we use the resources we've got wisely, we can actually, according to some research that I've done, the Earth can sustain up to about 12.5 billion people if we manage our resources frugally. One of those management issues would be minimizing or eliminating the eating of certain meats like beef and pork. Those meats take so much energy to produce, so the amount of energy that we receive as a human by eating that is nowhere near the amount of energy taken to produce that piece of food. The other issue is methane gas with cows. The amount of methane gas that they produce is ridiculous. I'll put a statistic in the top up here somewhere. So in less than 80 years since World War II, we've tripled the world's population from 2.5 billion people to 7.5 billion people. If we continue using our resources the way we are now, food-wise, our Earth can sustain approximately 11 billion people. Oh, that's fun. Approximately 11 billion people. So I'm guessing that in my lifetime, I'm 45 years old, I'm guessing that in my lifetime we will see the Earth reach its quota, so to say, as to how many people can be sustained, how much life can be sustained on this planet. I'll put a link in the video below to a NASA site where you can have a look at the Earth from space at night time, just to see how much of this land is inhabited by humans. It's really quite scary when you look at certain continents like North America. I'm really curious to see what Asia looks like at night from up there, but I haven't found it yet. If I do, I will link it in the description. So my political rant isn't really very political about Liberal or Labor, about the Australian government, about who's Prime Minister and who's the government in power, because either way it's not going to make any massive difference. However, the Liberal government, they did get voted in. Hello, Pony. I still don't understand why I'm not riding an electric motorcycle. Well, I can't afford to ride an electric motorcycle right now. I think if I could afford an electric motorcycle, I would get one. Especially given the numbers in torque that those things have. From all accounts and purposes, every review I've seen, they look like a lot of fun. Why are we still burning fuel? Why are we still digging coal out of the ground? What about this coal seam gas and fracking and all of this business where they just want to release things that have been trapped inside the Earth's crust for hundreds of millions to billions of years, so that we can burn it and the emissions and carbon dioxide go up into the atmosphere. If you've watched this far, I really appreciate it. I know I'm not very qualified to talk on this topic. Humans, we really do need to start thinking about the conservation of our planet for future generations. I'm a breeder, I've got children. I'd really like to think that their outlook on life can be a positive one leading into the end of this century. Well, that's me done. What a beautiful, beautiful day for a ride. I'm heading out to play lawn bowls. Absolutely perfect conditions here in Western Sydney today. It's an absolutely beautiful day. I hope you have a beautiful day wherever you are in this world. A big thank you to all of the new subscribers to the channel. I hope you find some of the content interesting, informative, entertaining, amusing, silly, fun. I don't know, I'm trying to figure out what sort of YouTube channel I should make. This is my experimental YouTube channel. It's really got three main ideas: motorcycles, drones, and music. I want to say drones, I mean photography. Maybe I should make 4 channels and post a video on each one and see what happens. It's worth considering. Alright. I'm going for it. Thanks for watching. Until next time, be good to each other. Chewy out. Peace.